Buying a home? Don't panic. Just listen to the rest of this podcast. Hey everybody, we are back with Isaac again. Isaac's back. Man, it's a long time since I've seen you.
I know, right? It feels that way.
This is Isaac Cologne with Electric Brothers Electric Company. And I met Isaac. I found him on Google. Actually, I did a search, and I was looking for someone to upgrade my electrical panel because I have what's called a Federal Pacific POS attached to my house. I had to move it for a couple different reasons. One, it was at the very corner of my house that I want to remove because my driveway is too small. That was the one thing that bothered me about it. Number two, the fact that it's a Federal Pacific electric Stab-Lok, which is probably the worst panel out there. I've recommended replacing hundreds of these over the past 10 years to customers. And here I am buying a house that has one. I'm like, of course it has one. Why wouldn't it? Right? But I know what it is. I know what it means. I wasn't afraid to buy the house because of it. Yeah. And I don't think anyone out there buying a house with one of these should be afraid of buying the house. It's just a small fraction of the house. It's important. It's a safety issue, but you can definitely correct it with the help of someone like Isaac. So thanks again for being my electrical contractor. Yeah. Your company, your crew did a fantastic job. The reason why I want everyone to hear this from me. I interviewed several different electrical contractors. I've talked to different contractors on the phone. Not everybody came out and gave me estimates and stuff like that. And I did not pick you because of your price. I picked you because of your service, because you actually came out here and walked the property 3 different times, and your story didn't change at all. Yeah. Everything you said the first day was the exact same stuff you said the second day, and so on. You gave me a detailed, written out estimate with everything right on it, and you responded. You constantly responded to my calls, and I know I put you off for a while because I was still in the process of my bathroom upgrade, and it was just too much work. And I had to really think out what I wanted to do with that electrical panel upgrade. So I don't like, there's certain things I don't want to rush. And I had to plan this out for big future improvements of the house. So I had to, I don't want to just upgrade the panel box and then have to move it later. Yeah. That's doing it twice. That's just a total waste of money. So I really had to think it out. And I think that time that I put you off was perfect because I had to finish up the bathroom project. That took a lot longer and a lot more money than I expected. So I was running a little dry there on the cash.
But it looks good though. It came out,
Yeah, it came out really good. So this is the panel that you guys have removed. This is my very own Federal Pacific piece of shit. POS, we call it. So tell people why upgrading this is a good idea.
Oh, well, everybody knows Federal Pacific.
Not everybody knows.
Yeah, not everybody knows.
Anybody in the field. Homeowners don't know this.
A lot of these is because their connection points are horrible.
Yes.
You can see that right there.
Yep.
This is your connection point for a panel, and it's...
Point at that little area? Yeah.
This is what's grabbing on for your electricity. These 2 little thin bars. Compared to a newer style breaker like a Siemens, you have a thicker bar. Right. Better contact, compressed, a lot better, not like this.
Right.
See the difference of it. Thickness of the steel is a little bit better. The heat expansion of the bars on here are a lot better, so it expands the heat better, and that contracts the load here. That's what happens. Too much heat buildup in between here, and it's, not enough.
Right.
Connection, calcium buildup. You get that little arcing, and
that's I noticed when I was dissecting this, I pulled this apart in my garage last night. I just took all the pieces apart just so we could expose this. And this right here is the main disconnect. Yeah. And these are the 2 service conductors coming off that are going to go into the meter right up to the meter. So, like I said, this had to go. And as you can see, these breakers are here because of my bathroom upgrade. So the electrician I had prior to meeting you, who did the bathroom work for me, he had to remove a couple old ones and add some of these in here. So what else do homeowners need to know about this besides the contact point? Is that the main reason why it's a problem?
No, well, these breakers are known for not really tripping and working correctly. You know, these components they use are horrible. They're just they don't work as good.
Right. So you may turn it off and it may still be on. And that seems to be a problem with a couple of different panels.
Yeah,
too.
a lot of times too, customers call me and say everything's on in the panel, and I don't have no power in the house. So there I go, taking with my tester, my meter, and obviously I'll check it with the stupid stick first, real quick, and say, okay, she does have power everywhere, or they do have power everywhere, but I'll still bring out my my meter and check.
Right.
I'm old school. I like to use more of the wiggy meters on stuff like this.
Right.
So I was taught, and I just like that more old school. But when it comes down to technical troubleshooting, like more like on VFDs and those type of machines and motors, that's when I use my Fluke digital meter. You know, that's when I pull out that one. But
so, like I said, this is a 100 amp service.
Correct.
And we upgraded my house to what?
200 amp Siemens solar ready.
200 amp. So what we did at my house was, first thing we did, well, not I did, you guys did, is installed a 200 amp box on the back of my garage. So what I decided to do is take this off my house and then relocate the whole service behind the garage. So basically my garage is the main hub of my electrical now. There's a lot of reasons why I did that, because I have plans on putting a ADU in the backyard eventually. So now I know I can run power to that real easy.
Yeah.
Super simple, short run, straight from the 200 amp.
Right.
And then having now the garage also had a few other bells and whistles, and here's one of them right here.
I remember this one. Yeah.
This garage had the oldest stuff in it. Look at this. It had this with the big throw switch on it here.
Very old school.
This was connected to. Can you grab that for me? Was also connected to another similar box this size with fuses in it. So I had a Stab-Lok, I had these fuses, and these fuses were my electrical system. But I got to be honest with you, I lived here for a year before I touched any of this, and not one of these things went out on me the whole time.
Well, probably because they didn't trip. A lot of times they don't trip. And they'll just keep on heating up until.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So when I go investigate,
I thought for sure one of these would have blown or something.
Well, that will probably give out. But usually when I go to people's houses and they're like, "Well, I never have any problems," and they start looking at all the wires and everything, I'll start looking, and sometimes you can see the jacket of the wires, like right here, it'll be bubbling.
Yeah.
It'll start getting hot, and then you can look at the neutral bus bar too, and you can see if there's heat problems already because this is not tripping, and that's when I know it's already giving them problems. They just don't see it. You know?
Right. To the untrained eye, you're not going to know. But anyways, this is what I bought. All these fun things. So it was fun dissecting it and taking it all apart. Not to mention all the conduit. And I had 3 overhead lines. I'm pretty sure the homeowner did that part. The last homeowner. So we had.
No, you had 4, didn't you? You had 3.
Well, we had the main service coming in from the pole,
right?
The 240 coming in from the pole, and then from this panel we had 2 more 240s going. 2 separate 240s going into the garage.
Oh, that's right. He had SO cord.
One was to power the garage, and the other one was to power the electric plug we talked about on the last podcast. Yeah. So. It was interesting, at to say the least. So now I have no overhead lines, and that was another part of the goal.
To clean
is to clean up the look of the property. So all these overhead lines, no more between the garage and the house. I only have one overhead set going between the back of the garage and the pole behind my house.
Yeah.
So the property looks a lot cleaner now. It
does.
It's really nice, and he upgraded all the electrical in the garage because he had to remove all these fuse boxes and all the conduit that went with it. And I think there was only 2 or 3 receptacles in there. Yeah. And one of them was a 2-prong that we talked about in the last podcast. And
on that side. Yeah.
So that came from that. And then we had the 240 for the dryer. So we yanked all that out. And now I have, 18 plugs in there now?
Yeah. You got couple dedicated service plugs. You got your EV for the future.
Yep, we put 6 LED lights in the ceiling,
Looks good.
and we pimped out the attic area.
You raised up your ceiling too.
Yeah, and I
Door.
raised up the garage door, so I really pimped out my garage. I still got a lot of work to do in there. I haven't finished it yet, but all the important stuff is done.
Yeah, your project was pretty interesting though, to relocate that panel. When I heard a relocation, I was thinking opposite side of the house.
Right.
That's what I'm used to. But when you were telling me, I want to relocate it to all the way to the far back, I was like, okay.
Yeah, and then
you had your mindset and why you wanted it, so it makes sense to me after.
Yeah, because I have experience with houses, so I wasn't totally in the dark.
Yeah.
So I just had to think about it and stare at it for months, like I always do. Everything I do, I don't rush. I just
stare at it.
I stare at it and go
sleep on it.
Okay, I have to bite the bullet and pay for this job. I have to pay someone to do this job. It's just too big. But I also had to trench between the garage, and I had to cut a concrete walkway about 18 feet between the house and the garage, and I had to dig down about 30 inches, and then your guys came out and dug down like 2 more inches to make sure the top of that conduit was at 30 inches.
Yeah.
So, and then these guys had to run from the back of the garage. What they did was they ran all their cable up through the garage attic, because I just built a garage attic, and then they ran it down the outside wall on the left, and then went underground. And that was a home run shot too.
Yeah.
That was 80 feet of cable?
Yeah, one shot.
I think it was 80 feet of cable. You guys had to pull from the main panel all the way through the garage, down the conduit, underground, back up into the house. And then they installed a 100 amp sub panel in my hallway. So all the power has been upgraded. And then we found some other stuff, but we'll talk about that on another episode. We got more panels to talk about here.
Yeah, we do.
So let's stay focused on that. And so if you show up to a house and you see this, what are you telling your customer?
They have an old panel. They have an old panel, and I recommend them changing it out.
Okay.
If they're just living by themselves, I get it. It's working fine. But if they're calling me because they want to do central AC and their son wants to get an EV,
yeah, it's time to upgrade.
You got to upgrade.
Yeah, but they are known to be a fire hazard.
Yeah, they are.
So a little information on this panel. I did some research just to refresh my memory. These estimated 2,800 fires a year from these panels.
Yeah.
And that's from the Consumer Product Safety Commission. So they're the ones that are saying that. And, these panels were installed from mid-50s up until the 80s. I don't recall seeing any that high up, but like in the 80s or late 70s. I typically see these in 50s and 60s homes. That's when I typically see them. But my house was originally built in 1944. So my panel, the old fuse box that was probably there, was upgraded to this.
It was probably one of these, what you had before.
Yeah. And then they upgraded to the Stab-Lok, because back then that was probably the best thing since sliced bread, right?
Yeah.
As the latest thing on the market. Oh, look how pretty the orange breaker handles are.
Now you can see what's a 20.
Little did they know they were installing fire hazards.
Yeah.
But it took years later to figure that out. So, I guess the Consumer Product Safety Commission determined that these panels failed certain UL calibration requirements. And that's why they started, okay, these are not that great, so we need to fix this or, stop selling them and everything else. So that's how that went down. I don't have a Zinsco with me.
No, but we think we have a Zinsco breaker, though.
We do? Okay, good.
We have a Zinsco breaker here.
I got some photos I want to show you as well.
Some of these other breakers I have here, too.
Okay, so right here, we got some photos we can look at real quick.
There you go.
So here's a dissected Zinsco, just like I did with this one here. It's out of the box. It's, of course, when you see this on the house, there'll be a metal box wrapped around it. But so these are faulty for, is it the bus bars?
Yeah, the busings and the breakers not responding and tripping the way they should.
Okay, so the bus bar is underneath all the breakers. You can't see it.
Yeah.
You have to take the breakers off to see that.
Yeah. It's just this style busting that the way it clips on is just not a good design, you know?
I see. So the bus, can you point to where can you point? Yeah.
So these connection points are just not good points on that busting. You know, you have two little thin bars going across and these snap in.
Right. Hold that closer to you, Mike. Yeah, like that. There you go.
So you don't have the bars, but when you dissect that panel, all you see is two little thin bars.
Yeah, two straight bars.
Real thin.
Yep.
Just horrible. They don't trip. They don't do their jobs. The breakers. They don't react. They don't react with the heat load. They don't trip when you know. Wow, there you go.
Right. So here's another picture of one that's installed. Obviously. Yeah. So it's got and look at all the wiring in there. It looks like it's overcrowded. That's probably the way it was installed.
Yeah.
It's not a very big area. Mm-hmm. These boxes are no bigger than this.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, technology back then, they didn't, you know.
I don't think there was any technology back then.
We were still starting off. It was new, you know, everything. Learn your mistakes, you know.
Yeah. Live and learn. That's all. That's really all you can do. And here's the labeling. A lot of them will have a label that says right on it, Zinsco. So I do not remove these covers.
Why is that?
Only very rare I'll pull these covers off.
Okay.
When I see these installed in like an apartment or a condo, you know, they're typically in pretty good shape because the weather hasn't gotten to them.
But the paint.
Yeah.
Remodel.
If I can, you know, strategically, surgically remove it, the cover, I'll take it off because I'm not worried about these breakers falling off because like I said, it's on the inside of the house,
right?
And it's not just beat up from all the weather,
sun and everything.
All these other ones, they've been outside, they've been banged up, you know, messed with who knows how many times. So I don't take those covers off. And going back to the Stab-Lok, I definitely do not take these covers off.
I didn't take yours off.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's unsafe to take this cover off because you got to lift it up and you got to push it up, which is right where the meter posts are.
Right here, where these connection points are at.
Yeah.
You're getting close to those wires.
And if somebody already pushed that up a whole bunch of times and wore out these cables and you touch that, arc flash time. Hope you got your sunglasses on.
We call it a selfie.
A selfie.
You're gonna get a selfie taken
with a really bright light.
I had one time I was in Wilshire in a high-rise building. That's when I was working for a company named Cornell Electric. One of the old companies I used to work with. Me and Juan actually. Well, Juan was my foreman when we used to work together. I used to be his right-hand side man on all his big jobs. And I mean, I always knew Juan was capable of doing good jobs and big jobs. And I was always his right-hand person on these big jobs or whenever I was available.
Yeah.
But I was in a building, and sure enough, I was trying to pull out the fish tape that they were feeding into me.
Right.
And when I was pulling out the fish tape, it's just whipped. You know, when you're pulling it out, it has that little sling.
Yeah.
And it touched across the phases in the whole building and a 400 amp busing, and that was far away, but it just went whack across the busings and boom.
No shit.
I knocked down the whole building.
Oh, wow.
I knocked down the whole building, and it just arced all over my whole face, like boom. So yeah, that's good. And the fish tape lead gone. Didn't see it anymore. It was gone.
And what's that fish tape made out of?
A steel.
Oh, it is steel.
Yeah. It's made out of steel. So I remember my boss came in and he goes, "Hey, you got your selfie taken?" I was like, "Yeah." And he started laughing. He was like laughing at me. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, it's like you've just graduated now. Yeah. You're an official electrician. Yeah. You made your first mistake.
The one thing I don't like is, you know, when you're on the field, people tell you, "Oh yeah, the power's off" and whatnot.
You can't listen to that.
I can't, you know.
No, you can't. That's just you not being a smart person. Yeah. If you're going to take someone's advice, first of all, they're not even electricians, and they're telling you the power's off. Come on, man.
So
really?
That happened to me one time. My own boss told me the power's off, and we were doing demo in the warehouse. It's all dead. Everything's dead. So there I am, 10-foot ladder, my lineman, you know, trying to cut the wires, and boom, lineman gone. I had a big old hole in the center of them. I was seeing white for like a couple minutes.
What do you mean the lineman?
Of my tools. Cutters.
Oh, the cutters.
Lineman cutters.
I thought you meant a person.
Oh, no. My lineman cutters, when I was cutting the wire to demo, it just blew up in my face. It left a big old hole. Like the lineman blades are like this when they cut and you open. It had a big old a couple holes from where the wires cut.
Did you save it and put it on your wall?
Nah, I was really like probably like eighth year and doing electrical. Right. So I was doing it for 8 years, but I remember that I was mad because I was up on the ladder and I looked at him like,
so now you know. You check everything yourself. I
always
now.
Check it now. I don't trust anybody. Never. Lesson learned right there.
It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. It could be a last mistake.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah. So anyway, Zinsco, another one. So once again, they're known for breaker issues, right?
Yeah, they're known for not tripping or not showing a response that they look like they're tripped. People think they're still on.
When they're off.
And they're off. You just got to really reset them correctly. Sometimes 2 to 3 times because the components inside just are finicky. They're weak. Yeah. They're cheap.
Yeah. So let me have one of these.
Yeah.
The other ones. Yeah. So a modern day breaker.
Yeah. And that's
just so much easier and smoother.
And that's a newer style.
Compared to this.
Arc fault too, by the way.
Right.
The one you have. That's a newer style arc fault breaker.
Explain that.
Well, this is like the first style arc fault breaker, which they came out with a curly fry neutral.
With the pigtails.
Yeah, so you got to tie this
curly
neutral.
Fry.
You got to tie this neutral into the bus and then grab the neutral from the circuit here, and then you got to line your wire load too. So you got a bunch of traffic going on here.
Yeah, yeah.
Too much traffic, too many wires.
Yep.
The neutral bus bars are like this long now.
Right.
So now they created this, which the neutral is on the busing of the bar, so you don't need to do any of that. You just snap in.
See, now that's confusing for us home inspectors.
But the panel got to be capable to carry these type of breakers, though, because you notice you can see them from. Hold on, let me show you from the angle.
Right.
Where they stab in from is here.
Yep.
And then the neutral stabs in here, the back part.
I see. But you can't see that.
No.
Not when it's installed.
That's when this gets rid of, and then that's when this comes in.
So is it going to look the same as the one with the pigtail on that end?
What is?
So if I'm looking at it as a home inspector.
Oh, you can't tell.
You can't tell the difference.
Unless you see this arc fault breaker and you don't see the neutral, then you know it's a newer style panel that's capable of adding this type of...
Well, how do I know I'm looking at a panel that's supposed to have a pigtail and it doesn't?
Yeah. See, that's the thing. This is the older style arc fault breakers with the older panels, and then these are the newer ones which don't require the neutral.
So the newer ones are blue?
I'm not sure if the newer ones are blue. That's a good question.
So what I'm trying to get at is...
I say she had 15, this is 20, so it could be a difference.
I see. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of how can I explain to other home inspectors how to identify if it should or should not have that wire. Is there a label on there in the front that we can read that might say it?
Oh, you can see right here. It says neutral, and the point on there where it says it on that one, and this one doesn't.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. An indicator. Yeah.
An indicator. Yeah.
Cool.
It does.
Let me see that real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. All right. So it's got to have that indicator on it. Now, is that a sticker or is that embedded in there?
I can't see from here.
That's a sticker. Okay. Yeah, that can actually come off. GFCI Class A ground fault A30. That's the old one. Okay, CAFCI A01 A30. Yeah, I have to look into that some more because trying to identify that just by staring at it, it's going to be a little difficult.
Yeah,
because that's the old one.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing
the old one. Okay, so they're saying the old one that requires the pigtail has the sticker saying the neutral.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right.
I mean, you got to remember just because
that's tricky stuff.
Yeah. When people are looking at these, just because the home doesn't have arc fault doesn't mean it's not up to code. It's just how the house is wired, so it's not going to have them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't recommend putting arc fault breakers in an older style home because it's not wired and configured so it can work correctly, you know? Mm-hmm. But it's a dumb code when the city, if you're going to relocate a panel more than 6 feet, you got to use arc fault breakers. But how's that going to work when the wiring is not configured in an old style house and you're trying to put arc fault breakers with a lighting circuit that's tied in with the refrigerator?
Right.
Because that's how people wired houses.
Well,
back then,
I heard this story from a guy who recently had an electrical upgrade, and he had AFCI breakers, and he had to remove them.
Really?
Because his stuff kept tripping in the house. We'll talk about him in a little while.
I think I warned that person too about that. I warn all my customers when we're doing new services and we got to relocate panels or they want to rewire houses. I always go through these 10 times in their head so they know that I'm not lying to them.
Right.
Because
I knew you weren't lying. Yeah, because I know enough about it.
Yeah, I mean, not just that, but I mean, because customers tend to forget this stuff, and then once I leave, the refrigerator's not working. I got to constantly go out there and trip the little arc fault thing. What did you guys do wrong? And look, that's not what we did wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong, everybody. They're just sensitive, and they're not configured to be in an old house.
Yeah. And they're doing a job.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like a GFCI would work when you have a blow dryer.
Right.
Constantly blow
it's
drying.
like I call it a nuisance upgrade.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Because it's just like I mentioned on the other podcast about the oven being on a GFCI. Once again, it's just a nuisance upgrade, and it's gonna be more of a nuisance than anything else.
Yeah,
that's all it is. So now let's talk about Mr. Bulldog.
Yeah, here you go. I have one of these right here in front of you.
These are always fun to look at.
These are always fun to whether or not you don't even know. It could stay on and it's off. You know, this is a horrible break, another horrible one.
And literally you push them in. They're called Bulldog PushMatic. You simply push that button and it's supposed to trip it on or off.
Yeah.
And you may push it and it may come out. It may still be on.
Yeah, or you may not work. You may have to take them off, bang them up a little bit, loosen up the calcium buildup in there is what you're doing.
Right.
So
I think looking at that, how it looks, that to me looks worse than this.
Yeah.
It really does. And it's so like prehistoric. I just think of like a really, really old time when this was made, but it wasn't that old. Let's see. What's the history on these things? They were installed 1950s and the 60s.
Yeah.
That looks like it's from 1910 to me. 1910 technology.
See, it says it's off and it's actually on.
Right.
Same thing here. It's off and it's on. They're all off, but they're all on probably.
Yeah.
See, like that one's kind of like hesitating in the middle. Like I'm there, but I'm not there.
Oh, I see the indicator. Yeah, it's like halfway there.
You see?
Yeah.
People are always, it's confusing.
And you see the difference of a panel that's outside. All the dust and dirt and the elements get in there and it just make it worse. That's probably why they fail.
Moisture, calcium buildup.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people panels are recommended to be changed out every 15 to 20 years. You know what I mean?
And this is a replacement one. That's a replacement.
And those things are expensive.
And when you say expensive, what do you mean? Like 10,000 or 200?
Like a regular breaker will cost probably $5, $10 max. You know?
Yeah.
Probably one of those refurbished, like in a package, brand new, probably like $50, $40.
That's a little
Yeah,
high.
the Zinsco ones, when you're buying these, $40, $30, easy all day, and they're junk, you know. But they're a company. This is the aftermarket company right here. You can tell.
Yeah.
The color of it. You can see it here. Mm-hmm. But these are all original, but still, they're just junk.
Yep. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to have it stuffed. I'm going to hang it on my wall for sure. So I'm not sure if I'm going to bronze it. Somebody on my, I posted a little quick YouTube video, a short last night about, hey, I'm going to dissect this thing and have it stuffed. And someone's like, yeah, you should bronze it like the old baby shoes back in the day.
Hang it from your mirrors or driving.
But anyway, so here's a cleaner looking.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that one's
see,
a lot
that
cleaner.
actually, you can see that it's off, it's on.
Yeah, maybe that was on the inside of a house. That looks really clean. So that might have been on the inside of a house or a garage or something. So it's not getting beat up by the weather.
Mm-mm.
So,
and then you have the old school glass fuses there.
Yes.
Right there.
So
very old school.
Fill us in on these and how not safe they are.
Nightmares they are. Yeah, I've worked on these quite a bit. It's kind of hard to find these fuses at times. Not all the places stock them up. Home Depot and stuff, Lowe's. The shortage is getting smaller and smaller on these, but it's dangerous on these because if someone doesn't know what they're doing and they don't connect the polarities right, and you have
Can you turn it the other way?
Reverse polarity, like you were saying. Mm-hmm. Well, what's happened to me is when I'm taking these fuses off and I'm grabbing this and I touch the metals, I'm spinning it. Well, guess what? I'm getting shocked.
You're grounding yourself.
I'm getting shocked because it's reverse polarity. So this is not supposed to be hot. When I'm touching it, it's supposed to be the hot point back there. So that's supposed to be the hot. This is supposed to be the neutral.
Right.
People do reverse. This is the hot, which when I'm spinning and I'm touching, I get shocked. Instead of right when you unspin it, it makes contact, power's done. You're safe. But I've seen that before many times when I'm spinning. I'm like, oh, damn it. And I'm like, dangerous.
Yeah.
They're dangerous. Yeah. I don't really like these too much.
Yeah, that's what I was actually, my last podcast I mentioned to you, I was using one of these and I went up to go near it and touch the box to see if it was energized. And the thing started glowing like a foot away. I'm like, oh, I'm not going near that.
The whole thing just lights up. That's what
I have a video on that. I'm going to send it to you.
Oh, okay.
I had an assistant with me that day and I go, hey, videotape this. This is pretty cool.
I have the video with my friend of the GFCI break with the blow dryer.
Oh.
I'm going to look for it.
Yeah, send that to me.
I'll send it to you so you can see. We threw it in the water and it's like... And all he did was grab his screwdriver and touch the ground while he was holding the cord and pass, it tripped. Klein screwdriver.
Wow.
Just like that. Klein screwdriver, he touched the ground while it was still running and active and pass, it tripped.
Wow.
So it just needs the ID of a ground, sometimes.
Yeah,
Same thing like a transformer.
Yeah.
Transformers, when you're doing the phases, sometimes it just needs the ID of a ground to get that other leg out. That's all.
So let's tell homeowners what it costs now to upgrade something like this with different scenarios. So just go through what you would typically find and typical price, just so they have an understanding.
Yeah, typical price. Well, back then prices were a lot cheaper. Obviously, with COVID and material, and now they're requiring surge protectors too. People want to do them with permits. Surge protectors are very expensive, like $75. So all these parts and components are adding up. But
now, do you recommend using a permit to do electrical?
It depends on the customer. You know what I mean? We always still do things to code regardless. We're not going to knick-knack a corner and not put one ground rod because we're trying to save some money. It's not getting done by code. You know what I mean? The only thing we probably won't put on a panel if we're not doing it by code is a surge protector because they're not really effective here in California. Those are more like in the areas where they snow and they have storms like that a lot of, which is, I don't know, like where...
East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast and those places. That's where they have them at. That's where they're known to have that stuff. But they're pushing it on us too now. So it is what it is.
I see. Search. Yeah, I have one on mine.
You do because we did it by code. I mean,
yeah,
it does work a little bit, but I mean, we don't have no storms or anything like that crazy here.
Right. So what do you think it would cost to just replace this in the same spot of an
same location? Yeah. If it's out surface mounted, prices nowadays are between $45 and $5 for a panel. If it's recessed in the wall, it does cost a little more labor and time for us to break all that stuff.
Even if you go up in size, same price, or
as far as when we like 100 amp.
Well, if you're taking 100 amp off, what if they wanted to go to 200 in the same spot?
Same spot, yeah. So the price is like I was saying between like 45 to 5,000.
Okay.
Usually, I always recommend people to go to 200.
There's sure. No big or go home.
It's the price difference is a couple $100.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's practical. Yeah. It makes sense. So okay. So
those are some of the things people need to be aware of. When it's in the wall, you don't have to pull it out the wall and create damage and stucco and create an extra cost. You can surface mount it on the side and save the cost of the stucco and the panel. Now, there is some cities that don't allow that, although it is code, which is dumb and it's legal. But I always check with cities to see if they allow that or they don't. Only one time I got hit hard once on that, and it was in... where was that at? What city was that? Azusa. I remember we did it in a panel in Azusa, and we did it, and that guy was just, the inspectors, they all have their final say, and if they're hot-headed from one job for another, they're going to take it out on you. Yeah. And that's what he did. He took it out on Juan. He was like, oh, you got to demo out that whole panel and put a junction box. We're like, why? It's legal. I don't like it. You just got to put a junction box. You should know that it's code. And I go, well, it's legal. It's code. We can do it this way. And he just didn't answer. And then he looked at our riser. Oh, the riser's too high. It's 36 inches. It's code, like everywhere. DWP, Edison, Anaheim, Pasadena Power District, that's like almost standard. Nah, drop it down 4 inches. I want it at 32 inches or something. We're like, what?
They can do that?
Yeah, well, he did.
He can get away with that?
He did. What can we do? We're just like, okay, we'll do that. He left. We looked at the other properties and the other houses. They're all 36. And I looked at the homeowner. I'm like, he's like, I don't know. I go, well, you know what? We'll do it. It is what it is. It's not right.
Being a dick.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a Richard.
Yeah. Don't be a Richard. That's a relative of Karen.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what you meant.
And when you're dealing with home inspectors, I never argue with them. I never say anything. I mean
building inspectors.
Safety. Oh yeah, building inspectors or
Different.
electrical.
Yeah, it's different, yeah.
I never argue with them when they come. I just show them the paperwork, and I don't see anything. I let them do the talking and
Let them hang themselves.
Yeah, I'll let them say, tell me, oh, let me open up the panel. Let me see this. I'll see that. Did you do anything else? No. Bare minimum, I don't give them much information.
Smart.
Yeah, I don't want to open up any kind of worms with them.
Yeah, you won't go looking at something else and then, hey, that's not on here. And then that's the thing. But, just once again, to reiterate to homeowners and home buyers, not having a permit doesn't mean it's wrong.
Yeah.
That depends on who you hire. So if you're just going for the cheapest guy, which is not a good idea when it comes to something this serious about your house, this important, just remember there's no big brother overseeing what they're doing. So if you don't know what they're doing, they're going to do what they want to do.
Yeah, and that's what I do tell customers.
They may not dot their I's and cross their T's with what they're supposed to be putting in.
The only time I really encourage customers to do panel upgrades with a permit is when I know they have the old school 3 wires coming in from the city.
Yeah.
It's like you got to just do that with the permit. We can do it without a permit, but one, the wires are old.
Yep.
When we start touching on the plastic and all that, they start falling apart.
You know that Burbank upgraded my wire to a bigger size.
Yeah, see?
So the linemen came in. Those guys were awesome. They came in, knocked that thing out.
It's
3 dudes.
better. When I see a newer style cable coming in, then I'll tell them, you don't have to do it with the permit. It's up to you, The
DWP believes in go big or go home. So whenever they change something, they always go bigger. So that's smart, thinking ahead.
Yeah.
So I got all new wire from the pole all the way to the house. I'm super happy with everything. So I got all brand new wire. So that's awesome. Not all my not all my branch circuits are new, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of the old stuff we took out. There's still some left. I know there's other areas, but what you guys had to deal with.
Majority of it's out though.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, majority of it is out. So Challenger brand. Let's talk about Challengers, because Challengers is kind of a gray area, and I think I can say that.
Eden is Challenger now.
Huh?
Eden is Challenger. So
yeah. So on a residential, let's talk about residential first. I know you have experience with that on a commercial too. Mm-hmm. So as far as residential goes, years ago I was at a CREA meeting, which is the California Real Estate Inspection Association, which is where I'm certified. And, people are talking about Challengers and they have breaker issues. So my understanding is the recommendation is to upgrade the breakers. The box should be okay. Or am I hearing that wrong? What's your opinion on that?
My opinion on that is it all depends on the panel model it is,
Okay.
So
certain models.
If it is one of those certain models and you can just upgrade the breakers, then you're able to do it. Like there's a company called, a lot of people probably even heard of it. It's called Black Label Brothers. They're a panel company that was based in Los Angeles. All they made was just panel boards for the outside service, not panel boards in the inside.
Just outside. But they didn't make any breakers. And all they made were just panel boards.
Mm-hmm. So that's a company that's been out, and insurances aren't black labeling those companies because they never had any fire issues. But back then, that company was designing panels so that people can interact and change out whatever breaker they wanted to use on the main service and put whatever they want inside. Meaning, if they wanted to put that black label service panel and then get a Federal Pacific breaker and put a Federal Pacific sub panel inside apartments, or do push pneumatic,
right?
And then do push pneumatic, So that's what they would do. But I'm sorry, it's Blakeman Brothers. I'm sorry. Way off. Way off.
Blakeman.
I didn't have my coffee today, man. I didn't go to the gym.
One word, Blakeman?
Yeah, Blake and then man. One word.
Oh, one word.
Yeah. Blakeman and then Brothers.
Blakeman. It's probably called Blakeman. Panels?
Yep. Now you'll find it. There you go. See them? That's the labels. Those labels right there.
I see. The infamous wings.
Yeah.
Blakeman Brothers Electric.
So this company, all they did were meter sections. That's it. So this company made meter sections, and then after that, people input whatever internals they wanted inside of them to make them work with, like Federal Pacific breaker style.
So you order which one you want. Is that what you're saying?
No, so these guys would just make the service panels.
One would accommodate this breaker and one would accommodate a different one, or is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so they made their panel boards so that anybody can use whatever style breaker to use.
It's like a universal box.
Kind of universal. And that's when we get into series rating. That's what I mean by series rating now. But back then, series rating wasn't around.
What is series rating? Tell us about that.
Series rating is pretty much the body of the breaker matching with the internals of the sub panel of the inside. So they both are that's series rating.
Okay.
So these guys design their panel so that anybody can put. If we buy a Siemens panel, you only want to use Siemens breaker. You're not going to put square D breaker in there. It's not going to sit right. It's not going to fit right.
That was my next question I was going to bring up.
So these guys,
interchangeable breakers.
Yeah, these guys designed these panels so that people can use either Federal Pacific, Square D, Murray back then, which is Siemens now. Yeah, but some cities allow you to still upgrade just the sub panels and leave these the main service outside and just change the breaker so it can match with the series rating.
So was there a problem doing this, or is it just
this company has no problems? No fires, no problems.
Okay, so if I see this, it's okay.
It's okay with a panel. There's no issues. They don't have fires. It's just discontinued. 1969, 1970 is when they stopped.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were out for a while. They were based here and out of Los Angeles.
I'm going to save this.
Yeah. You're going to see a lot of those now that I'm telling you. You'll see more in apartment buildings if you get home inspection. Do you do commercial apartments?
Yeah.
Okay.
On occasion. Yeah, I don't do a ton of them, but I do get them here and there. I have not come across these yet. No, I don't recall seeing anything like that.
They look like a regular Siemens panel.
Yeah, it's the labeling I always look at.
Very universal.
So let's talk a little bit more about interchangeable breakers.
Okay.
Because that's something I do look for when I'm looking inside panels. And I don't have a catalog of which one is which one's right, which one's wrong. And I'm not going to go that deep into it with my customers.
Correct.
If I see a Siemens panel and I see an aftermarket breaker, I'm going to look. You get a different manufacturer breakers in here. They may not be compatible.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are or not. Have an electrician let you know if they are. And if they aren't, they can replace it.
And you can usually see it too yourself when you're spotting it because the outer part of the body frame never sits right. The breaker's sunk in like half an inch. Yeah. Or it's out.
There are some visual indicators just by, that looks off. Yeah. Sometimes I'll see like a row of breakers loose.
Nightmares.
Yeah. And I'm like, why ain't that seated? I'll give a little push.
That's how they sit. They barely grab.
That's
where they start fires. A little
junk.
Arcing.
Yeah, just junk. So I call that out because that's too loose for me. I wouldn't want to not point that out to a customer. So
the one thing I do get on home inspections a lot of because we get a lot of emails from companies and realtors that want us to give them a quote and is there a home inspection report and we're like, oh yeah, send it over. One thing that I do notice that home inspectors do is they say the panel needs to be updated and it doesn't have arc fault breakers. I'm like, it doesn't need to have arc fault breakers unless the whole house is going to be rewired. And so there's some misled information on sometimes on that with home inspectors.
That's just a home inspector who doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
It doesn't understand. So look, I'm glad you brought that up. That's a good point. So, when I think it was 2014 when arc fault went into code.
14-16 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the safe way to look at that, home inspectors, if you're listening, how old is this house you're looking at? Number one, how old is that panel? And is there any record, or does that panel look like it was just upgraded? Now, if that panel was just upgraded, yes, it should have arc faults.
No. See, that's the part where people get confused. Now, when you relocate the panel like we did with you, any service panel within 6 feet, then yes, we have to use arc fault breakers. But if we're just going to upgrade a service like for like, same location, it doesn't need arc fault breakers.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the code. That's where the people.
I have not had that explained to me before.
They say that a lot, and it's like, no, it's not that, and they scare
So
customers away.
replacement for replacement.
You don't need arc fault breakers.
You don't need arc fault.
No.
You're just replacing the panel
Like for
like for like.
It still needs a surge protector.
Wow. Okay. See, that doesn't make sense to me, but I get it. It doesn't make sense to me.
It's only when you relocate a panel more than 6 feet, it's required to do arc fault breakers.
Relocating more than 6 feet.
Or a new rewire of a new home, new construction, then yes, it needs arc fault breakers. Yes.
Wow.
So newer style homes.
Like for like. So this is good information. Thank you. But it creates more questions.
That's fine.
So I'm on the job. I see, well, it looks like they just replaced the box. I don't see AFCIs. So, by the way, when I report AFCIs, whether they're missing or they're not connected or whatever, I simply say, look, non-standard electrical practices, have an electrician take a look to see if this box requires this.
Right.
Was this upgrade? It's all in the wording.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to have AFCI breakers. I'm saying it's typically a normal part of an upgrade to have AFCI installed after 2014. So that's how I report it.
Right.
And I think sometimes other inspectors who just may not know yet, they could be new. They could be a new inspector who just hasn't really had to deal with this a lot, so they don't have a lot of experience writing it up, and they may not have stumbled on this before. So it happens. I was new once. I went through a lot of shit like that too.
Hey, so did I.
Right.
I learned a lot of things too.
Yeah, so it's just we're here to learn.
Yeah.
We're just here to talk. I'm not here to generalize everybody as not knowing this, but I'm sure a lot of guys have or are about to have come across this and have to find a way to write it up. So I write it up as, look, it looks a little non-standard to me or substandard install. My recommendation is to have an electrician determine if it needs to be there or not. But we don't know if that panel was just installed. We don't know what was there before.
Right.
So I can't answer those questions for the customer. Yeah. So I'm better off saying it the way I say it and reporting it the way I report it, because I don't know what they just took off of there.
Yeah. I mean,
the seller doesn't know.
I ran into some crazy
one knows
once where we had a Federal Pacific panel and it was surface mounted. Gave him a regular quote. I looked at it and I opened it up. Seemed fine. Okay. Mm-hmm. Come to find out, these guys, these jokers, whoever they were, had a fuse system like this before, and all they did was surface mount that over the fuse system and push the wires through. So when we tore off that panel off the wall,
you found that.
We found this big old opening, stuff like this inside, and we're like, whoa, we can't just surface mount this back again. Now we have to open up this wall and do this right. But those are all surprises you don't see.
Right. Yeah. Well, any time you got to open up something on a wall, it's a can of worms.
And that's where we're sometimes, because that customer was cool and understanding, and
some people are going to be rational. Yeah. Some people just, you said this, Karen and Richard.
Karen and Richard. Always.
I just think Karen should cover all of them. I don't think Richard's good enough. I think it should just be Karen across the board myself. But anyway. Karen. So yeah, that's an interesting news about the AFCIs. Now I've been on jobs where this was a big house too. I remember this one job was a really big house, 200 amp service in there, big tall one like I got, and I pulled the cover off, and all the pigtails are cut, all the way down. And I said to my customer, "Hey, you might want to come take a look at this." So it's easier just to look at than me trying to explain it later. So. Yeah, all those pigtails have been cut. But I'm going to tell you why they're probably cut. Because they're probably becoming a nuisance.
Yeah.
And I tell them that. These are known to be nuisance problems. And they probably were required to install them by code. And then as soon as the guy left, they had to reset everything a couple times a week or something like that, or maybe once a day. And so they said, hey, come back here and just cut all these damn white wires for me, because that's what's causing all these problems.
Yeah.
So when you installed my sub panel and my main panel, I knew that you had to put AFCIs in because we relocated panels. Yeah. So that goes with what you just said about me not knowing that if the panel is moved more than 6 feet, then you have to add AFCIs.
Yeah.
So
Pasadena is not too tough on that,
right?
On that code, but most all other cities are.
Right. So after you guys were done, within a couple days, my refrigerator tripped.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So the wife's like, John, I want to look at this.
Did you guys catch it on time?
Yeah. I think it just happened. Probably overnight it happened or whatever. So the next morning we noticed. And
Still cool.
so I looked, sure enough, it's tripped. I just reset it. But my panel is right next to the fridge, so it's all cool. I just walked right up.
Now it's in the hallway. It's
And
good.
then it happened. But then it happened again with one of the bathrooms. And then the living room it happened with the Wi-Fi. And I'm like, okay.
That's becomes.
And then I remembered our conversation. John, we're going to get these things in. You're not going to like them. But it's going to pass code, and then we're going to come back and we're going to put the regular ones back in. And you did, and you kept your word. You came back and you replaced those with regular breakers, and now everything's now I'm happy.
I always warn customers when we're doing that.
Yeah,
we were going to relocate. I make sure I bring up those nightmares, detailed front and back, has many different ways and times, so they can't say that I don't remember you telling me that, because that's what they always say.
You got to make sure you put it in writing.
Yeah.
Or never mind the verbal. You want to make it stick. You put it in writing.
Yeah, but even then,
put it in your contract. Just put it in.
They probably won't understand it until you have to physically kind of tell them.
Yeah.
Show
Just tell them to call me, and I'll clear it up for them real quick. I'll make a video for it. Don't bother this guy about your AFCI.
Just watch this video.
Just watch this video, and it'll make sense because it happened to me, and now we took them out, and I haven't had anything trip since.
Problems.
None. Zero. So that's really good information about the arc fault. That's good. I'm gonna dig into that a little more later. Try to figure more out on that. And anything else you want to mention about these unsafe panels?
On these, not really.
I say get rid of all of them.
Yeah, it's bad. They're just, bad construction on how they manufactured them. It happens,
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Like vehicles, they make vehicles and they're not.
Yeah, it's called recalls. Yeah. There's been recalls on some things. I think these had a recall on them.
They did.
Stab-Loks for Pacific.
They did, but they just banded them after that. Or like, no, they're not cutting it. Banned them.
Yeah. I wonder how much they had to pay out.
A lot.
Probably put them out of business. I mean, I don't wish that on anybody going out of business, but if you're making a faulty product and you're not fixing it.
That's not good.
No.
Showing up to it.
Burning down houses.
Or businesses.
So anyways, if you need electrical upgrades, you do them? Electrical panels?
Oh, yeah. Commercial.
And?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Challenger, we talked about the residential side. Let's real quick talk about the commercial side of Challenger.
Okay.
So as the commercial side of Challenger panels, they tend to be problematic or not? Or is that just a residential issue?
It's more of the residential issue.
Okay.
More of the commercial style panels are bolt-on breakers. So you get a real good connection. You're a little bit more heavy-duty.
Okay. Good to know.
But there's still problems there, too, if people don't make the connections right. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's always some nightmares of things still,
Yeah. Who's installing it? So once again, it goes down to that.
Yeah, it does.
And I'm sure you have to pull permits to do anything commercial.
Yeah, for the most part. Sometimes we don't. Like I tell homeowners when I come do residential, it's totally up to them. Mm-hmm. If they want to do it or not. I say about 90% of the people don't, because they don't want to deal with the headaches, the nightmares, the time frame.
What if an inspector rolls up on you and you're working on a job and there's no permit? What happens to you?
Well, then we just pull a permit.
They don't fine you or anything, or
it's happened to us before in Redondo.
This is going on your permanent record?
Nah, it happens before in Redondo. Like this girl wanted to do it and she wanted to save the money. She's a real cool girl with her husband. It's real easy going, but she didn't get along with her neighbor. And the neighbor.
It's always the neighbor.
The neighbor called the inspector over, made him come over to the house, showed him in the backyard that we were doing the upgrade.
Went, psst.
Doing the upgrade. He walked out the house, knocked on her door, and saw our big old logo van trucks in front of her house.
What's up? What's going on, guys?
Yeah.
They changing the batteries in your remote control?
I know. Right? Are you changing the panel in the back? And she was just like, yeah, we are upgrading it. Well, I don't see a permit opened up in my side of the city, on my side. So you need to do a permit if you're going to be doing that panel, blah, blah, blah. And that's it.
Guess what? Now she has a headache.
Yeah.
Well, she's trying to avoid the headache. Now she has one.
But it was simple, though, because right when she told me that, I got on the phone with Edgar. Edgar got on the internet, put the permit. Next day we had it. The following day we called inspection. We're done.
Oh, sweet. So that wasn't that bad after all. It just cost a little more money.
That's what I told her. You can try to do it. Worst case scenario, they're just going to make us pull the permit. It's not going to be a big deal. It's not going to hold the project down. The thing is, she had a big issue because she had a short and half her house wasn't working.
Right.
So she needed to get it done ASAP.
Got it. Okay.
So,
all right, cool. So yeah, permits, like I said, there's no big brother without it. So you got to hope you're hiring a reputable company. And once again, always check your contractors. Make sure they're licensed.
Yeah.
Make sure the license they're using is their name.
and just because you do like a service upgrade without a permit doesn't mean the insurance won't cover you. Insurance is mainly focused on and pay attention on, okay, you have a fire, electrical. Oh, it looks like the panel's been upgraded. Okay, yeah.
All right. So
did you pull a permit?
Right.
No. Did a licensed contractor do the work? Yeah, we did get a licensed contractor. You have proof? Here's your proof, the invoice. Okay, they'll still cover you because a licensed contractor did the work. Just because we didn't pull the permit doesn't mean they use those two hand permit and licensed contractor.
See. Okay, good. Good to know. Yeah.